Hello, everyone. My name is Andy Nguyen. I'm the developer of Maneuver, and today I'm going to show you how to scout with Maneuver. So before we scout, there's a couple things we have to do. First, we have to create our scout. So in this case, you go to the side menu, go to the bottom, add scout, and then select the role. So role is for teams that are running uh, one scout per player station. Selecting that role will always pre-select your alliance and the robot in that given station. For us, we'll go blue 1. And then from there, you can go to scout. So you'll be brought to the game start page. And then from here, a few options. So you have the scout options here. There's some placeholders in core currently, but there are some game-specific options that your team may want to use. The first one is disabling fuel scoring pop-up. So that will be if your team doesn't want to guesstimate fuel. Um, you can click this option, and then you'll just select the location of the shots or the path if you want. Disable passing if you want the same thing but for passing. Uh, Auto, you can disable pass altogether, so you only have tap only spots, and you'll just have the waypoints connected. And for teleop, you can just disable pass as well if that is what you want. But for our purposes, I want to show off all of the features. So we're going to leave those. Uh, then we have to select an event. Uh, this has a list of all official events for 2026. And in this case, let's just do week 0. Uh, then here's your match number, either qualification, a semifinal, or a final. In this case, we'll just do qual 1. You'll have your alliance selection here because I've selected blue 1. Blue is already selected. There's the alliance predictions. If your team wants to do those, I can explain those in a different video though. And then the team selection. Because I chose blue 1, selected this. But if you have a schedule uploaded to the app, this will be whatever robot is in player station 1 for that given event. All right. Once that's all figured out, we can start scouting. Okay, let's go through a few things here. So up here in this header, it gives you a few things. The phase you're in, the match, the team number, your alliance will be different colored on this badge, the scored and passed. If a robot is broken at any point, you can click this button. It will start a timer. This is the undo button, just in case you tap something by accident and you want to undo. And then on smaller screens, there will be this kebab menu that has the action history if a robot is a no-show, and if you want to flip the field based on where you're sitting in the stands. There's also exiting full screen. I don't think very many people will need to do that, but it is there as well. And then moving on to the next phase, teleop here. So let me explain these buttons here. So trench and bump are obstacles of this year's game. So you'd click these when going over or under or through the trench in auto. Hub is for when scoring. But in this case, the first action is selecting where the robot starts in auto. For this match, we'll be watching this robot here on the blue side, and they are starting on the right bump. So then once you select the starting location, you're giving some more options here. So trench and bump, like I said, is when going over this obstacle or through this obstacle. Passing is any intentional movement of fuel within or to other zones. Outpost is collecting from the outpost. Uh, Collecting is any collecting outside of that. Besides the depot here, you'd click depot when uh, collecting from the depot. Uh, and climb is for when you climb. Uh, I'll go over this very quickly because in this match, this robot does not climb. So when clicking climb, you'll be given these options in auto. Uh, for when on the clock, the robot started climbing. So for instance, 15 seconds. You could get more exact if you want, but these are rough estimates. And then you would move on, and then you'll pick if it succeeded or fails. When you click this, you generally want to move on to the next phase after a robot has climbed. So there's a little pop-up here to move you on to the next page if you so want to. But for now, let's undo that. Okay, this robot is starting on the bump, and we will begin the match. Again, we are watching this robot. All right, so they're moving and they're going to be shooting their preload, which is 8 balls. And then they're going to the outpost. Now they're returning to the screen and they're shooting from about here. And looks like they got about 3 off. All right, autonomous is over and we can begin the next phase. We click teleop. So in this phase of the game, uh, it becomes a little simpler. Uh, Actions are broken down into zones. So, for instance, the alliance zone has passing defense. Defense is just any meaningful slowing down of the opponent. Climbing, just like auto, with a few different options. So in this case, a few different start times. Um, and then you can select your level. And then you can go back. Oops, the page. Yes. Then you can pass here as well. So uh, I'm going to show this here because this robot doesn't do any passing, but you can draw a path here and you can select how many fuel it passed, or you can tap and select a spot. But this robot does not do that. In neutral, we have just defense and passing. Notice that we took away collecting because balls are going to be everywhere, and in the end, collecting isn't going to be super useful. And these traversals have now been changed to stuck buttons. So what that means is if a robot gets stuck on any of these obstacles, you can select that. So say they got stuck on this bump, it'll disable all other buttons. And then if they get unstuck, you can toggle this off again. And then that time will be saved. And then in the opponent zone, we have defense, passing, and stealing. So stealing would be collecting on the opponent's side to take it away from them. So let's start the teleop phase. And the robot is here. And it's going to begin shooting the rest of its hopper. So let's say that's about 20. And then it's going through the trench. So we're in the neutral zone. It's collecting. It's in the alliance zone. It's back in the neutral zone. Back in the neutral zone. So see there, it shot, but that wasn't didn't seem to be on purpose. So I'm not tracking that. So it's in the align zone, and now it's shooting. That seemed to be probably about 10 or let's do like 15-ish. Going to collect. There it's shooting again. That seemed about maybe 10 or 15. Now it's in the neutral zone, collecting again. All right, back in the align zone. And here it is, shooting again. Let's do about 10 there. And it's collecting, shooting once more. Seem to be about 10. Now we're in the end game. So typically some robots might go to climb during this time, but our robot here seems to be loading up one more hopper. That seemed to be about 10 again. Going for one more. Seemed to be maybe about 6. And that's the end of the match. All right. So if you this is what the map looks like after that. And then let's go to the post-match questions. So what did your robot do during the active phase? This robot did a some cleanup, cleaning up the alliance zone and scoring what it had. And it did some cycling, going to the neutral zone and coming back. I would say it pretty much did the same thing for the inactive period. Did no passing. I believe it only used the trench during teleop, and it made probably about 75% of its shots. It did not use the corral, which would be putting fuel back into the player station. And I don't currently have any notes, but there's a comment section here. After that, you would just submit your match data, and then your match number will auto increment, and whatever teams are in match 2 will auto populate here and will be auto selected based off of your role if you have one. All right, thank you guys. We'll go over several other things in further videos.